All aboard the toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic
Oh.
gossip train.
Oh.
You get a one-way ticket to manipulation station. The toxic gossip train.
Oh.
Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. Those rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive in the crash. But hey, at least you're having fun. Signed by Doug Yancey Walker himself.
Damn, that's a good song. That's like, who wrote that?
It's I don't know if you've heard it, but it's called High, all lowercase period, in parentheses, Toxic Gossip Train.
Oh, is that, did they add that to the title?
That is the genius lyrics, and it's one of those genius lyrics where every line has an explanation annotation. Every single word of this song has to be explained.
Hang on, I
It
gotta
is
look this one up.
truly impressive. Look at this. Look. This is probably very baffling to people that have no context of what we're talking about. But in this extra special, very rushed bonus episode, I'm going to explain to Andrew not only who Colleen Ballinger is, but what she did and what led to this apology ukulele song, which might be the worst series of words I could ever imagine putting together.
This is a great Genius page, by the way.
It's incredible. Like, every line has something. Like, let's take a look at the rumors look like facts if you don't mind the gaps. The annotation says, Colleen implies that rumors can be mistaken for facts if one disregards the missing information or gaps in the narratives. This suggests that she is trying to undermine the credibility of the allegations brought against her. Oh, gee. This is a real thinking man song, is all I'm saying.
It's good. It's really long. That's what I've noticed about this
song. A 10-minute long apology video in song.
Can we call it an apology video? It's more of a
you're right.
unapology video.
It's a sorry you feel that way video.
If even that, honestly. I mean, she ends it with "fuck me," like.
So, what do you know about Colleen Ballinger or Miranda Sings, if anything at all?
Well, all I know now is that she's in Wreck-It Ralph 2, even more wrecked Ralph.
Which honestly, we should have canceled that movie long ago. We should have that taken down, not just for her, but just for it existing.
It's a pretty bad movie. That's it.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that before this. That and she made the worst video of all time, potentially, or
yes.
Best video. It's solid cringe. Like, it's
yeah,
good.
it's like, okay. So for those of you who are fans of me and Andrew's content, our programming out there on the internet, will know that we have a certain affinity for early 2000s cringe YouTube entertainers. We bring up Doug Walker a lot. We bring up the Angry Video Game Nerd a lot. It's just a weird hyperfixation about our youth. But at the same time, while that's going on, we have Colleen Ballinger, who started this character called Miranda Sings and targeted it towards theater kids, like younger millennials to early Zoomers.
Was she Doug Walker for theater kids?
Yes, she was. That is a fair assessment. If Doug Walker... She did the thing that Doug Walker didn't do, where Doug Walker made a vanity project about himself but invited other people in. She didn't really invite people into her bubble, as far as content creatives go.
So more of an angry video game nerd then.
Yeah, she is the angry video game nerd of musical theater YouTubers. And I was never a fan of her, honestly, since it was just kind of not my thing.
Is her thing playing ukulele and singing?
No, not
okay,
even.
So this is a unique thing.
Yeah, and she got properly popular. She had a Netflix show. She performed on Broadway in the as a replacement in Waitress. She got an actual career out of making these goofy little videos where she puts on wild lipstick colorings, and yeah, this is the kind of vibe. I think it's like,
this looks awful. I'm sorry.
It's just not our thing. It wouldn't be our thing, but it became so big that even folks like Lin-Manuel Miranda used her for clout on his own YouTube page and sang songs with her 13 years ago.
I'm sure he's regretting this right now.
I mean,
well, he probably doesn't care.
Yeah, I feel like he's big enough where it's like no one can really tear him down. But her development was like her first YouTube video was 15 years ago, and it was just grew from like just a normal character to a caricature to this iconic image that would inspire a Netflix show and would become a quote unquote internet icon. Now, when you look at these videos, especially the more recent ones, who do you think their target audience would be?
Teenage girls, maybe even younger than that.
Yeah, they feel very pointed towards the younger generation.
Teenagers.
I can't imagine a
12?
27-year-old watching this and being like, "Oh, I can't wait for the next Miranda Sings video."
This has got to be like 10 to 14-year-olds.
Okay,
Maybe I mean Baby Shark we have here, maybe even younger than 10.
definitely using the fact that children are on this app against it. You remember a few years ago when YouTube started making it so you couldn't put ads on children's content and you couldn't put comments on children's content or content with children in it. Because pedophiles were going there, putting in time codes. Really gross. So YouTube tried to make some kind of actionable option for it. She was very much against it. And it's like, what? You just made it easier for the pedophiles. Now they don't have to sit through an ad to get to the stuff that they're turned on by. And it's a horrible, horrible defense. Like,
yeah,
it sounded like she was just mad that a lot of her videos would lose ad revenue.
that is 100% what she was mad about. I mean, come on, let's not pretend.
Yeah.
She has a vested interest in children's content having ads on it.
So a few years ago, mid-pandemic, someone named Adam McIntyre, who used to be in circles with Miranda when they were much, much younger in the minor territory. They do a very good in-depth analysis of this whole process, so please look at that before taking us for whatever we have to say. But then Miranda, when he came out and said, I was getting treated very inappropriately, I was abused for free labor, all these other things, Colleen sent like all of her fans to basically harass and attack this boy.
A classic strategy, really. We've seen this a lot of times.
Yes.
Just send your fan base to shut up the people criticizing you.
Yeah, for criticizing things I did. And despite Adam having receipts showing like a lot of the specifics of what went on behind the scenes of their conversations, group chats, and all that, which is iffy shit. Like, let me contextualize that. People are calling it grooming. I don't know what words mean, but I'm gonna take it that I mean, but very much highly sexual conversations with a group of minors, including asking favorite sexual positions and sending them lingerie. And yeah, it's disgusting, truly.
That is, that's really bad.
It's not just like that blurred parasocial line, which sometimes even we have a struggle to deal with, like when we have like fan engagement. But you don't slide into the DMs or anything like that. That's just a weird thing to do.
Yeah, but this is on another level. Like,
yes,
you can say parasocial like relationships are bad usually and all that, but this is a different category. This is just, I mean, grooming. I know that word is charged now because of the way some people use it, but
Republicans use it.
Yeah, but I think this is an accurate description of it. I'd say.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. So she is currently on tour as Miranda, and right before that happened, suddenly these allegations, they're not like Adam brought him up again, because Adam doesn't want that tirade against them, of course. Like, so they were out there, and then people started rediscovering them and unpacking them, and actually, I think her audience grew up is the thing, and she expected them to stay the same age. And when you grow up, you kind of get critical thinking, and they weren't going to follow the toe the line anymore. So now she's getting the repercussions for all the things that came out, as well as a lot of other people are reevaluating her original videos and her live shows. Her live shows are one of the more particularly disgusting things that she's done that's come out based on the allegations by Adam.
I think I saw, because there's been a lot of stuff here, but the live shows, she was having people dress up in like skimpy outfits and bring them on stage or some shit like that.
That's one thing. She would like have that one person dressed identical to her, and then the other one dressed like themselves and just talk about why the one looking like her. Like, there's at least like monochrome of a joke there. I can kind of see what, like, but if you're an audience member and you're dragged on stage and just kind of being insulted, even ironically, it as a kid, that's probably not fun. But then there was other things, like she would bring little boys, let's say between 17 and 10 years old, and pretend that they're on a date and try to get them to put their hand in her pants to get a cheese ball out.
Is this a bit? It's funny.
Yeah, I guess so, but
very humorous, I'm sure.
And then she'd gloat about like how hilarious it is and how she'd try to get like these boys to kiss her on the cheek and things like that, and it feels icky. And then there's I think you remember in her apology song, she says, "I just told a fart joke. It's not a big deal." Well, let's unpack that fart joke where she brings, I think she was 13-year-old girl on stage in a skirt and skirts are iffy territory, and has her spread her legs, and then they overlay a fart noise as she does that. Publicly embarrassing a 13-year-old girl who just came for a good time.
Yeah. So the song. You want to go into this amazing
I just wanted to
number?
get the main things people are complaining about, and I think that's the big ones I knew would talk about. But
I've seen some pretty wacky stuff that I would say is police worthy. Some of it,
very much so.
Most not stuff from her live show necessarily. That stuff is kind of like creepy and weird and bizarre. But there was some other stuff that was particularly like in the chats.
yeah. And I kind of glanced over that because I feel like Adam goes in much better detail than that, and I'd rather just not. But there's stuff where definitely people higher than just the internet needs to get involved and figure out what was done with these kids. But let's say that's been going on for 3 weeks now, and they're like, what is Colleen gonna say? She hasn't said anything, and then she comes out with this video.
Hi.
And this is where you come in, because when we were doing our episode on Light in the Piazza with Grace Aki, it had just come out, and we just watched it on a whim. No context to you. And since then, I think you've kind of had an obsession with this song.
Maybe not an obsession, but I think it's incredibly funny. Not to like downplay any of the actual like really bad shit or whatever, but this song
no, not at all.
Incredibly tone deaf and just hilarious in a certain way. Of just like, how the fuck do you where do you get off singing this goofy ass non-apology like feel bad for me song when all of these allegations are out against you? Like, what is your thought process here?
Millennial woman with ukulele might be the worst brand of anything ever.
You literally couldn't have you couldn't have done it in a worse way. Like, you change any aspect of this and it becomes a little better. Like, if it was a guitar, like, it would sound more mature maybe.
Honestly, if she had just spoken what she says in the song, I think I would have probably like given a little bit more of a benefit of the doubt. But the fact is, I think she is trying to deceive you into saying, look how talented she is.
Yeah, like, well, she couldn't have done it because she's like a musician, and like, wow,
she's got so much talent.
Except for that's where the other part of this comes in, is this song sucks.
Do we want to just listen to the song?
I don't think we should listen to the whole song, because I think there's a lot of people that have just done reactions.
Yeah, I don't want to.
If you want to play like a little, like, you want to play like the first verse or something just to get an idea,
we can totally do that.
If people have not heard this song before,
it's terrible.
It really, and it's so long. This is a 10-minute.
Just as long as it's entertaining to you, right? You guys having fun?
The fact that the living room alone looks like a fancier living room than I will ever live in also makes me a little angry.
Down the tracks of misinformation, the toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation.
How do you even do this?
She took the time to write this. Like, think of a melody.
Rumors look like facts. If you don't mind the gaps, I won't survive.
I really hate this song. It's the way that she stops playing the ukulele and then says something spoken every like 2 lines.
Agreed. And the train metaphors run out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean they just have the couple. Really just immediately opening the song too with the implication that people are only doing this because they think it's fun. You know,
And
it's
she
so fun.
also says, "My team advised me not to speak about this, but they didn't say I couldn't sing about it," which is like the most cringe
It
technicality bullshit.
it really, I mean, I think the idea behind that is my team advised me not to speak about it, but I'm such an honest person that I came out and I found the loophole. I'm going to say things anyway. But like, you're not saying anything in this. This entire thing, none of the allegations are actually addressed in any realistic way. She just
Okay.
says like, "Oh, I used to message my fans, but it wasn't creepy."
Her exact wording is, "Many years ago I used to message my fan, but not in a creepy way like you're trying to suggest. It was more of a loser way where I was just trying to be besties with everyone." I'm so grateful for the genius annotation to explain this to me, where they said that she was in a fan group called Colleen's Weenies, in which she allegedly asked for pictures of a 12-year-old's ass after he said, "My ass looks good today, y'all." Which, gross.
Yeah, they're 12. You
They're
don't
12.
do that. In fact, you know what you shouldn't do, in my opinion? You shouldn't have a group chat of 12-year-olds.
Agreed. But I feel like there's one thing we aren't, like, it's not like she was 19 or something and that was the case. Not that that would be better. She was in her 30s.
Yeah, you don't have a group chat where it's you and your 12-year-old fans. Like, if you want to facilitate like your 12-year-old fans having a fan club or something, that's one thing, but you aren't part of that chat, you know?
Yeah. Like, even in our Patreon Discord, we kind of take a 1 foot out approach to that more often than not. And they're all adults. They have to be adults to join our Patreon, which is very helpful. But like, there is that kind of parasocial like hierarchy.
You have to have a degree of separation because shit like this happens.
Yes.
Um,
But it feels, the thing is, she talks about how she takes accountability for everything that she does, but then she refuses to take accountability for anything.
when did you
for the
take
entire
accountability
song.
for anything? This entire song is you not taking accountability and saying, actually, I'm not accountable for any of that stuff because it was all totally normal.
Well, she plays like, "Oh, I just didn't understand it. I was so young," but she was in her 30s. Like, okay. She says, "I didn't really understand that there maybe should be some boundaries there. There were times in my DMs where I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird to me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability." But Adam, literally a week ago, just showed that she just left that group chat. Like, within the last few weeks.
Also, like, the way she frames it, she says she's like the weird, like, "Oh, I'm like your weird aunt that asks for too many details about your life." You asked for a picture of a 12-year-old's ass.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the weird aunt. You are the guy that is not allowed within 100 feet of the school.
Yes. And I hate to frame it like this, but if this were a male content creator and the same thing happened, would there be more accountability being demanded?
There might be more being demanded, but I think there's also a chance that they would be more likely to get away with it.
Okay.
I hate to say that as well.
I mean, I don't disagree. I just think that it's very, when we think about YouTuber controversies, we think of things like the Pro Jared situation, which it turned out to be a lot more complicated than originally thought. This I don't
even
feel
know
like
about
is
that
that
one anymore. This does not feel complicated. This feels,
No.
and I think part of the reason that I'm so certain it's not complicated is because she released this song.
Yes. Yes.
Literally, if this was just like somebody came out and said stuff and then she was completely radio silent and I didn't know who this was and someone was just telling me about it, I'd be like, well, I guess I'd need more info and like I don't really know. But like, no, she comes out with this song and I'm just like,
this makes you
nah,
want to
she did
look
it.
up the allegations, and she
like,
just
nah,
seems
she
so
did it, dude.
guilty.
Like, she fucking did it.
Here's another thing that, like, I asked you at the beginning, who do you think her target audience would be? She adds, "I wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl Miranda sings. You know, that one, yeah, her. She's PG-13, and it says it on my website. But you were at the Kids' Choice Awards." Like,
yeah, like, you're PG-13. Also, PG-13, 14-year-olds, you can't ask for pictures of their asses either. Just saying.
and you can't say fuck more than once and things like that. And She is very it's a very sexualized, sexual charged show from what I've gathered, and we don't shy away from sex jokes and vulgar stuff, but we are marked explicit on Apple iTunes, and
Like if children are listening to us, that's something, but like we never say that we should be listened to by
no.
kids.
And I don't think we really frame ourselves as a children's show.
We don't really even try to appeal to kids in any way other than I guess sometimes we cover like Disney movies or something.
Yeah.
But like I don't think that that's an explicit like we are for kids.
Yeah, but she's like, well, my content isn't on the YouTube Kids app because obviously she wants ad revenue. She's
Yeah. You know what this also reminds me of is like who's that one fucking early YouTuber who was a total fucking creep to his
Onision?
either Onision or Shane Dawson or one of those.
Shane Dawson fucked his cat. Imagine if he got the ukulele out. I didn't fuck my cat. I swear I didn't fuck my cat.
The images are photoshopped. I swear it.
No. Do you not know what the Shane Dawson thing?
No, I don't. I'm
Okay,
sure
can I
that it's
sidebar
bad.
onto that for a quick second?
Dude, early YouTubers are scum.
They really
I
are.
mean-
But the thing is, do we just become scum as we get older, or does fame do that?
No, I think what it is that YouTube was a cesspit where anyone could become famous and get a gathering of like small children surrounding them and worshiping them, and that's just a really bad situation. And there was no like PR firms or any management keeping these
Right.
people on the straight and narrow. It was literally just like they make these fucking videos, children watch them, and then all this shit happens.
Like the thing is, and you were rewarded for saying more and more outrageous things because YouTube was kind of the Wild West back then. So just say whatever you want, make a joke about whatever you want, because that will get you onto the front page. So Shane Dawson goes on a podcast and says like, "Oh, this one time I jerked off onto my cat," and he just for views, I'm assuming. I'm giving him the benefit of doubt to say that maybe he didn't do this. And then that grew into him fucking his cat, and then he had to apologize and explain that he didn't have sexual relations with his cat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did do a lot of like racist shit.
Oh yeah,
And-
but so did Miranda Singh. She like they're in the same category of a lot of skin darkening.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I guess when I was on my early YouTube watching habits were pretty cringe, but I don't think I ever
Yeah.
watched anything where they did blackface. So I
No,
don't think I really
no, I
understand
don't
why
think
that
I
was
did
so
either.
popular.
I think it was just like edgy. And the stuff we watched was cringe, but not quite edgy. Like I remember the Nostalgia Critic said the N-word once, and that was not good.
No, and even that was like weird for him to do. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
What? But this, I think it's just baffling because of the context of what the song is. But here's the thing: I think it might work for her in the like. I think she might meme herself into Leah Michelle territory where people just make fun of this song rather than the allegations. She did something more egregious in the eyes of general people that don't quite know than
Which is
the
a bad
things.
song.
Yes,
It's like,
which means
haha,
she
you did the bad song.
she will meme herself into forgiveness in a weird way.
It won't be forgiveness, but she'll meme herself into a point where she doesn't need to actually take accountability for anything.
Yes, which is a concern I'm actually having about this entire situation.
Yeah, because like, yeah, and I get it. Like the song is fucking hilarious. Like
Yes.
this is horrible. Like optics and just completely tone deaf in so many ways. And it is funny to make fun of the song, but
It is hilarious to make fun of the song, and
try to keep in mind that like the reason the song is bad is because of the other stuff, and not just because the song is bad.
Mhm. But I already see it happening. Like I see covers where, like, the Howie Mandel did a cover about the time he accidentally posted a prolapse on his TikTok.
Which I'm still like, why did you do that? How do you even accidentally do that?
I don't know. But it was. I remember when it happened. I remember opening up TikTok and seeing it, and I'm like, ah. But I worry that if we make too much fun and make it too much of a goof, that we're gonna forget the actual problem at hand, which are the victims.
Just wait till late night TV gets their hands on this.
Oh, thank God we don't have writers for them. Like, if anything, that is the benefit of the writer's strike. They don't have to comment on the submarine that exploded or the Colleen Ballinger song.
Oh, can you imagine?
Imagine the SNL bit.
Every single one of these fucking late night shows would have the host come out with the ukulele and do the song, and they'd be like, haha.
It's the Colbert toxic train. Trump's going to jail, and I've got a ukulele.
Yeah. So,
but as far as this goes, what do you now know about Colleen Ballinger versus what you did know before? Like, as far as the song goes, does it change your opinion on what you just saw as an apology video? And as far as apology videos go, how low does it rank?
I think this is the worst apology video of all time in that it isn't even an apology. I still feel even weird just calling it an apology video because she doesn't apologize for anything in the video at all. Like, the only thing she maybe kind of apologizes for is she says that she used to overshare. But, like, that's not what anyone's talking about. Like, no one cares that you used to overshare. People.
I mean, that's a big diminishing view of what people are claiming she did.
Yeah, it's like if you like murder somebody and then you apologize for like stubbing their toe or something. Like, oh, I hit.
I'm heavy-handed. I'm a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's like you know, I'm pretty sure you murdered them. Actually, maybe you should comment on that.
No, I'm just a little heavy-handed. It's okay.
I didn't mean to squeeze their hand so hard when I shook their hand.
It's just like Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Nothing's gonna happen to the Supreme Court judges, and meanwhile everyone else suffers.
Enjoy your 4th of July, kids.
Yep.
Be patriotic now.
We love patriotism. America's great. It's so
Capitalism
good.
won. We did it.
Yay.
And for all the acquaintance, wrong song.
Yeah, it goes 4th of July, 4th of July, America's fucking
kicked your ass.